What are some positive things that are happening today?
All the arts are thriving. Music, literature, dance, sculpture, painting. Seems to me that in this country and in most of the world there's a great burgeoning artistic activity. I think modern technology has created this sort of world culture which may in some ways actually be bringing people together or creating an international culture, and that may turn out to be a good thing. Nuclear power has made war less appealing than ever. Hydrogen bomb takes all the fun out of war. I think there's an enormous amount of goodwill and good feeling being shared around the world, people visiting one another, visiting one another's countries and lands and getting to learn something about each other. But this is in a race against the other catastrophe of overpopulation, war, hunger, civil war, revolution. Not that I'm against revolutions. I think many of them are necessary and therefore justified. I'm not anti-technology either. I like all our gadgets and toys. It's just the scale of them, the quantity of them that I think is doing us harm. As I've written, I'm very much in favor of space exploration, for example. I think that's a great adventure for humanity, insofar as we can all share in it. I think it should be supported by voluntary contributions only, though, not by compulsory taxation under threat of prison and death. The Sierra Club gets by in voluntary contributions, and so should NASA and moonshots and space travel. Let those things be financed by people who are willing to support them. Good things. Trying to think of good things. Don't get good cigars. I'm impressed by the young people that are growing up around us. They seem to be healthier and more athletic and brighter than ever. At least the ones who haven't been lobotomized by too much television and Newsweek and Time. I suppose for every danger in the contemporary world you can find a corresponding avenue of hope, an opportunity for true progress as opposed to mere quantitative growth. Probably never before in human history have so many been so keenly aware of what our troubles are and what causes them and what can be done about them. I think the knowledge and the goodwill is here, present in most people. Our problem is how to translate that knowledge and goodwill and technique into the creation of a true civilization, which I do not think we have. As Kurt Vonnegut says, we're still living in the Dark Ages. I agree with that. But we're still struggling to get out of the Dark Ages into some kind of enlightenment. I think that's possible. It still might happen before disaster solves all our problems for us. If we don't solve our troubles by reason and goodwill and generosity and mutual aid and sharing, then I think our troubles, national and international, will be solved in the usual way, by catastrophe, by war, famine, plague. And what was the fourth horseman? Death. And anyway, even if the human race wipes itself off the face of the earth, as Jonathan Shell thinks it might in his book, I still think that life will survive, even in the, if only in the most rudimentary form. I'm in favor of all kinds of life, even bacteria, germs, bugs, insects, scorpions. I don't think that anything humanity can do will destroy all life on Earth. And as long as there's life in any shape, well, there's still hope of some kind. In fact, life is good in itself. And if we humans are stupid enough to destroy our own lives, that doesn't necessarily take all the goodness out of the lives of other creatures that might, and I hope will, survive us. I think Earth would still be a decent place if there were no humans on it at all. I don't know exactly what kind of consciousness a dog has, or the wildlife, or the birds we see out here, but my impression is that on the whole, they seem to enjoy their existence. I think it's worthwhile for its own sake. They're not dreaming of heaven or some technological utopia. They just find the ordinary daily business of life, breeding and nest building and finding food, a good in itself. And I agree with them. I think the hawks are right, and the rattlesnakes. Keep going. Continuity. I don't have any hope of personal immortality, but I'm glad I've had children, and that therefore I have a stake in the continuity of human life. I think it's well worthwhile just keeping the game going, whether it leads to any greater end or not.
What does the future hold for you?
I'll write a few more good books and die. I've done almost everything I ever wanted to do. Traveled over half the world. Enjoyed the love of some good women and the friendship of some good men. Had some adventures. Wrote a few books that I'm still pleased with. Had a pretty soft, easy life. Most of my life I've been able to do almost exactly what I wanted to do. I haven't had to turn my hand at honest labor for about 10 years. And I never did believe in working for more than 6 months out of a year at any job I didn't like. So I'll write a few more books, explore a few more places. I'd like to go to Australia again. I'd like to see something of Africa. I've got a teenage daughter. Got to get her through the agonies of adolescence before I can shunt her off to college. I'd like to grow wise and venerable, but I haven't figured out how to do it yet.